Hey there guys, this is Jet Seekers, and I'm here bringing you a review of the real grade Zeta Gundam from Zeta Gundam, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. In any case, here is Zeta Gundam in vehicle mode, and as you can see, he is a mech jet it looks like most teams are is that kind of similar to the Stars jet design, and maybe it's like in the Warp Cyberpunk game. But okay, so that's very cool. He does have a lot of panel detailing, and that is having Gundam models, which is really great for getting in the line on the panels. Stickers on it, but that is something I'm not going to because I really do not like having to get out stickers. I'm still too long to put but still, even without stickers, he is very well detailed, just in hurt molding. Like look here on the engine cell. You see all his panels. Just adds so much, just adds a lot of detail to it. In this mode, things move up to contract. That's the and also, you open this up and put, you can see it. What's really surprising is that you don't see any jet on the other side. All you can think on top. Johnson doesn't look as bad. It's definitely really obvious. On the bottom is just smooth, black, and flat, mainly. You can see a little bit right here, but it's not really enough to complain. Right here, and right here, you can pop these off and place landing gear there. But I haven't really cut those out. And that's mainly for display and doesn't really aid anything in any other mode other than just displaying in jet mode. And really, even though the jet mode's great, you do not get this for the jet mode. You get it because it is a Gundam which can transform and looks really cool. That said, if you look in here, you see all these armatures and gray pieces. That is a different type of plastic than everything else here. This is like hard model plastic, like what you'd expect to find in like any other plastic model that you buy. In here, it is type of plastic labeled ABS on the sprue. It is a bit softer and does not really tear itself down when grinding against itself. So you can make joints out of it. Problem. Over time, these wear down, and I've seen other reviews where within 3 or 4 transformations, which I've already done this guy, on heavier joints, this begins to wear down. And also, I might add, this is the first transformable real grade Gundam model, meaning that it does have some teething troubles. Not many, but it's present. For example, this joint. You can't tell it right now, but that is going to be the hip. If you look from the side, that is very thin. And that bears the weight of this entire leg. And then it has to swivel all the way back in order to form the hip. Which, in essence, means it is which in essence is like, supporting a wing with an aluminum sheet. So, yeah, a few problems, but overall, this is really nice. In this mode, one more feature is an opening cockpit. I can't really open it that far, but as you can see, it is open, and oh, my camera doesn't want to. Well, if my camera would focus, you would be able to see a seat in there for a pilot. This does come with a little pilot figure, which I have not snapped out because, one, it is this tall, And also, it's unpainted. So not only could I lose it, it also looks drab and like something my mom would sweep up. It looks unpainted. It looks kind of like, this piece. Yeah. So for a size comparison, here he is next to the Generations Armada Starscream. And actually, they are about the same length, like from... Well, this is a little bit longer. This one's just a little bit longer because of the nose cone shield. But yeah, so they're about the same size. However, because this is a toy, it's made of all of this, mostly the same type of plastic, a really hard plastic, which does not grind against itself. So, get this for your kids, get this for your shelf. Before we go to robot mode, I'm going to talk accessories. For accessories, first of all, since this is a Japanese model, naturally it comes with extra hands. Here are the 2 default fists that it comes with and tells you to put on in the instructions. Also, you have a splayed open hand for, calling down the thunder. Focus. And also you have a fist here, which is for holding the gun, which all you have to do is open it up, take the rifle, and place it in there and, well, close it up. And there, it's holding the rifle. Also, I have found that if you want to, it looks a little bit odd, but this can also hold the beam saber. Simply tap it in and do that. And it's kind of holding it at an angle, which looks a little bit odd, but still imposing. It's not that bad, and it is a little bit loose. But still, it's an option. Currently on, and this also does come with one more set of hands, which I currently have on the model, which you can see right in there. Those hands are cool, and I will get to them later. Also, speaking of other accessories, you have the beam rifle, which currently is in its extended form. It has a power pack you can remove, and it can be shrunken down. The handle can fold up, the sight can fold down, and this can fold out for you to mount on the jet mode, or wave glide mode, as it should probably be called. Which, it's a big gun on a big jet, on a jet, so it looks cool. And finally, you have the beam saber, which is essentially a lightsaber with a detachable beam or blade. Also worthy to note that the beam rifle also has a beam you can attach onto it, because it wasn't long enough already. So, oh yeah, and he's got those grenade launchers you put on his wrists. They're blue pieces of plastic. Okay, so, now for the main event. The transformation. This is one of the most intuitive transformations that I have ever built. I mean, the only one I built was this, but still, this was interesting to build. So first thing you want to do is pan up. Like so. Then you take your space shuttle. Safest place to start would probably be the feet. You fold forward the front half. No, you don't fold forward there. That's the toe joint. You open up the feet on camera, as such. Fold that back, and then fold this down. Do the same on the other side, which I will get on camera. And fold that back. Fold the heel back. Fold the foot forward. Yeah, that special plastic I was talking about makes the joints really tight. And because they're so tight, it's scary to move. So now what you do is you fold up these wings and unpeg them from the center portion and pull that part out. Set this to the side. Fortunately, that is the only bit of parts forming that happens. Now what we can do is take the legs and extend them to their proper length, as such, with that little Z-bend, and just make sure everything is all closed up. Second verse, same as the first. Which is sad how often the case that is. Anyway, what you do is you take these skirt pieces, fold them out, fold them back. Same on the other side. Now I apologize for the awkward shooting, it's just because I'm looking at the model because I don't want to break it, which means I'm not looking at the camera. So I'm going to try and keep it right here so it'll stay in frame. Now what you do is, in the transformation, is you kind of just move these wings ever so slightly out of the way. So then you could move these legs back out of the way. Now inside here is a piece of the waist flap, which you want to make sure comes with the leg. Second verse, same as the first. And already, that moved way easier than it used to, which shows that the plastic is starting to kind of grind down and not really be as stiff, which on a model action figure you do not want. Now what you do is with this back section is you take this, fold the wing part in a very cool manner till it snaps, and then rotate it 180 degrees, and then bring it around to the back. Now there's supposed to be a way where you can take this, pull it up, peg it in, and then tab this back part into it, but it requires enough plastic manipulation that I generally don't bother with it. Same second verse, same as the first. And the first verse just fell off. For the sake of, just to demonstrate, I'm going to try and keep all parts, as many parts as I can, on this model while I transform it, just to show that this is not a cheating model. So now we come to the other side. If that has come off, peg it back on. Take these waist parts, pivot them up on extremely thin joint plastic bends. Make sure they're nice and out of the way. Take these arms and fold them out. Fold out all the little panels and the shoulder thrusters. Pull that out along with the other shoulder thruster. And now you've got a big mess. Take the leg joints and fold them down into place. Again, wearing out that plastic. And make sure that they're positioned properly. And now, what you want to do is take this front section, pull it slightly out, and bend it over that pointy head crest you see. That, you have to bend it over so it can come out. Once you do, get it maybe right about here. See the head? Pull the head up till it snaps. And just put that to the side. And then get this situated. Push the arms in so that the chest portion goes over it. Now you probably have been better to push in the arms first, although I wanted those out of the way so that the head could slide up. So now that you've got that, make sure that everything is situated properly. Make sure that hook there is pushed down, waist in, that down. Yeah, make sure that cockpit's, never mind, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so you got this, and plug in the nose cone somehow. Yeah, every time it's a game every time you transform this guy. Of keeping parts on, making everything tabs in together. But it's a game which is frustrating, but also enjoyable at the same time, because you know you built this thing. You cut out the pieces from the sprues. You pushed them together. You put them all in according to the instructions. You went back. You corrected things. You made things, and you made it all nice. And this freaking piece. What? There. Look. Situated like this. Pegged on. And sorry, this video has gone for already 15 minutes and I haven't even gone to the robot mode. And there, wing pack all pegged in, chest all pegged in, shoulders up, rotate the arms to your liking, position the hands, and look. Once you get his crest open, you have the Zeta Gundam in robot mode. It only took 5 minutes. That is probably the fastest I have transformed this guy. Seriously. This guy is a bit of a pain to transform, but it's a kind of pain that you just love. So, now that you have him in robot mode, you can take his accessories and give them to him. Now, before I go anything, I mentioned the hands. May as well start with articulation now with the hands. These hands are awesome. These are standard real grade hands, as far as I know. So what's cool about this is, the thumb is on a ball joint, and it has a knuckle joint. So you can bend it. The index finger has a ball joint at the hand, and a knuckle joint, so you can point. And then the other 3 fingers, they're all together, but they also have a combined knuckle joint. So effectively, he has articulated hands, which is always cool to see on an action figure, especially one that's this small. So, why don't we accessory up this guy? Why don't we take his gun, take the beam rifle off just for that, extend it out and transform it. And put it in his hand, which the real grade hands also have a peg in the palm so we can hold stuff. And so you now got that. And also you take his shield, collapse it a little, collapse it a little bit, pull out this armature, extend that out, and plug this in. Now, you just saw that fail, but also just so you know, the grenade launchers also peg into here if you want it, because they shoot out of here. This opens up and you can shoot grenades out there. In any case, the shield is more cool, so we're going to give him the shield. Now peg that on and do that. Now the shield can manipulate so it doesn't really get in the way of posing. Look at the cameraman. And also, you know what? Screw this real grade hand. And one jump cut later, we have this, which is honestly the better way for him to hold his rifle, which just pegs in like such, and that's that you get the arm situated for him to hold it. Of course, in his other hand, I would put his beam saber. So why don't we just do a little jump, do a little cut, and give him his beam saber. So now you have the Zeta Gundam, all ready for battle. For articulation, his head. Yes, I'm going to try and demonstrate articulation while he's holding all his stuff. I already showed the hands, so that doesn't matter. So the head is on a ball joint and can look all the way around. It's actually on, yeah, it's on a ball joint. The arms are on a joint at the shoulder, which currently is very stiff. Doesn't really have any like forward or back at the shoulder because of transformation. But it can go out. A rather stiff joint. Elbows. These elbows are double jointed. And actually what's really cool is they have a little piston in the back that moves to fill that little joint there as the arm comes up. And wrists, they're ball jointed, so they have a nice range of movement. Waist. This guy has a bit of a you know what? Got something. I knew I forgot something. There. Just freed up his waist because that locks for the transformation. His waist. It has a rotation, a side-to-side tilt, and a forward and back tilt. So that effectively, gives him the articulation of the gods in action figure-dom. Now the legs. This is where the teething troubles come. Because look, if I remove this, you can see that the leg right here pegs into that panel on the back, which means that the leg can move forward at the hip but not really back. Though it does go out and have a pretty good, Perceptor kick, all you Transformer fans. But yeah, when you move it back, you have to make sure that you hold it at the hip in order to make sure that it actually moves back the way it should without breaking up his hips. He has a thigh swivel and an okay knee. You kind of need the transformation joint to help with any, running poses or anything. But for me, all he needs to do is stand there and look cool wielding all his. So, but why don't we try and get a good Gundam pose going. Kind of fudging with the transformation joint. Oh yeah, foot. Foot, I knew I forgot something. Foot. For the feet, his feet can rotate. He's got a toe joint for crouching poses, which he's not very good at. And that kind of foot joint for articulation. And this heel piece, which can help with balance. And he dropped his beam saber. We'll say that's good. And you know what? Why not? There's his beam rifle with the beam in the rifle. Yeah, unfortunately this guy is finicky with posing. Yeah, so there he is. And now, why don't we just compare him to Armada Starscream? So as you can see, the Gundam does pose better than Starscream. But then again, he was, $30. This guy was $11. But still, here, let's just get him standing up straight with their parts and their hips all lined up and looking proper and not broken and full of holes. So yeah, I'm a horrible editor in this episode. Oh. Yeah, downfall to having 3 waist joints is that when they don't all want to work together, they make the waist kind of look broken up. So real grade as close to perfection as possible, and by comparison, Starscream takes 8 seconds to stand up. Not the 10, 15, or however many. So as you can see, he is, for all his articulation, all his detail, and all his size, he is only slightly taller than a standard deluxe Transformer. That said, there's about 10 times the engineering in this guy as there is in this guy. So, my point is, if you like posing things and just leaving them to stand and look cool, this guy will do it for you. However, if you like to play with your stuff, buy a Transformer. So, that is pretty much all I have to say about this guy. My final verdict is that he is cool, but he is for display only. Should not be touched if it is avoidable. So, yes, I like him. He is a good Gundam. However, don't start out with him. Get him once you've already done 1 or 2. So, hope you like this episode. This has been Jet Seekers, and I may buy more Gundams.